Next Manvantara was Raivata Manvantara. The sixth one was Chakshusha Manvantara. During the sixth Manvantara, there happened a beautiful pastime. The earlier one was of Gajendra Moksha. Bhagavan's avatara was named as Hari. During Gajendra Moksha, when Bhagavan appeared, he was called as Hari. The next is going to be churning of the ocean milk, Amrita Mathana. Why did it all happen? Why did the Devas and Aduras get together to churn the milky ocean? And how did Amrita appear? How did Bhagavan distribute it to only the Devas and hoodwinking the Asuras? Why did it all happen? It happened so because Yada Durvasasaha Shapat Sendra Lokastrayo Nrupaha Nishrikaha Nishrikascha Abhavanstatra Neshurichadaya Kriyaha Tato Brahmasaman Jagmuhu Meror Murdhani Sarvasaha. Once Shri Mahalakshmi gave her flower garland as a gift to a Vidyadhara Stri. It was a prasadam of Mahalakshmi. Vidyadhara Stri received it, and she in turn gave it to Durvasa Rishi. Durvasa thought, I am a Rishi, a detached soul. What will I do with Lakshmi Kataksham? It must be with some king. It must be from a minister. So he promptly gave it as a gift, as a prasadam to Indra. Indra was riding on his white elephant, Gajendram. It was a big elephant, Airavatam. Indra did not respect it with due honors. Instead, he offered it to Airavatam elephant. The elephant did not know the importance of that prasadam. It immediately disrespected it. It threw it on the ground and it tramped on it. So this Durvasa got wild. I had gifted you a prasadam. You should have respected it and accepted it. You did not. So let me curse you. You will lose all your wealth. So Durvasa cursed Indra. Indra lost all his wealth. He became Nashtashrikara. Shrikara, Nashtashriha. He lost all his wealth. How to regain the wealth? What to do to regain the wealth? He went rushing to Brahma. Brahma went rushing to Srimad Narayana. Already there was a tussle, ongoing tussle between the Devas and Asuras. In fact, in turns, they were winning each other. At one point of time, it will be Devas were stronger, and another, the Asuras were stronger. Now is the time when Devas are going to be weak because Durvasa has cursed. The Devendra has already lost all his wealth. Asuras slowly grew in strength. What to do and how to regain everything. And he needs the benign blessings of Mahalakshmi even. Bhagavan Srimad Narayana called for Indra and told him, let me reveal a plan to you. The simple way is, you have to join hands with the Asuras. Indra was shocked. That cannot happen. This is impossible thing that can ever happen on earth. I will not. Bhagavan immediately cited him. There are times when a big snakes and mice, rat. The snake and the rat are always Janma Virodhi. They are enemies. Whenever the snake sights a rat, it will consume it, it will eat. But when a snake is caught in a net, it makes friends with a rat, and the rat will bite and release the snake. Once the snake is released, it will eat the rat. So this is a simple story. There is a logic behind this. Bhagavan said, you have to make friends with Asuras, join hands with them, churn the milky ocean, it will give you Amrita, but don't distribute the Amrita to the Asuras. You consume it, win over. So this was the plan given by Narayana. Indra accepted, and he was too fond of his chair. His only worry was always about his chair, about his designation, about his post. For that he would do anything. Ajitasya padam sakshat jagama tamasah param avikriyam satyam anantamadyam guhashayam nishkalam apratarkyam ajata janma sthiti samyamayah gunaya nirvana sukharnavaya samudramathana udyogaha. Bhagavan also gave him a clue. Oh Indra, when you start churning the milky ocean, let me give you a tip. The tip is, he did not reveal it in open. He revealed it in secrecy. Indra got the tip, went ahead, made friends with all the Asuras. The day was fixed. They started churning the milky ocean. And how to milk? You need a churning rod. You need a rope to churn the churning rod. Bhagavan suggested, let the churning rod be mountain Mandara. Mandara Parvata would be the churning rod. Vasuki is a very big serpent. Let that snake be the churning rope. The churning rod as Mandara Parvata, the churning rope as Vasuki. Indra started carrying the Mandara Parvata to place it in the Milky Ocean in Kshiravati. Unfortunately, he was not powerful enough to carry. Mandara Parvata fell on hundreds on Devas and killed them. Indra, to rescue Devas, has started this mission, but even during that mission he lost many Devas. Bhagavan immediately ordained Garuda to carry Mandara Parvata and place it in the Kshiravati. This was done. They started to churn. Who will hold the head side of the snake? Who would hold the tail side of the snake? There was a little quarrel. The debate was, Devas said, we are superior to Asuras. We cannot hold the tail. It will be demeaning us. We would not. Asuras said, you may be superior, but this point of time you are weaker. So you will have to hold the tail portion. Bhagavan had already revealed the tip. He has given a tip that when Asuras object, you holding the front side, do not object, accept to hold the tail side. So Indra accepted. Devas were in the side of the tail and Asura started churning, holding the snake in its head. It went on. Alvar says that this was not so simple to do. Bhagavan had to enter this scene. Pashan in the Niril Vadum, Amayana Keshava, Malayamai Mel Vaitu, Vasukiyai Chutti, Talayamai Tanurugai Patti, Alayamal Pira Kadainda Peruman. When they started churning, it was too difficult to do. They slowly got exhausted. And this Mandara Parvata could not be held on a flat surface. It was just kept as a churning rod in the ocean. It started slowly drowning. Someone had to hold it. So Bhagavan incarnated as the big tortoise. He took Kurma Avatara, went inside the churned milky ocean and held this big mountain on his top. He held it. So there are many incarnations now. One is known as Ajita, where he placed himself between the Devas and Asuras to churn. Second one, to hold the mountain, he assumed the form of a tortoise. Of Kurma, he held it. Then thirdly, this should not jump above. It won't be drowned now. On the other hand, it may jump. So, with a formless nature, he was holding the Mandara Parvata so that it does not go out of the Milky Ocean. The process started. Hari Purastad Jagrihe Purvam Devas Tato Bhavan Nagrinhimaha Vayam Puchamahe Rangam Amalam Swadhyaya Shruta Sampannaha Prakhyataha Janma Karma Bihi. First instance, Deva objected. Indra objected that I would not hold the tail. But finally, they were all convinced. Alva says, Nirnaham Shutti, Neduvarai Nattu, Alkadalai Pernan Kadendamudam Konduhanda Pemman. Nirnaham Shutti. Nagam is the serpent. Nirnaham Shutti, Neduvarai Nattu. The churning rod was Mandara Parvata. Neduvarai Nattu. Alkadalai Pernan. Bhagavan did not care for his bed. This was his bed. Serpent was his bed. Adisesha was his reclining bed. And the milk of ocean, the ocean of milk, was again his bed. Will anyone offer his bed to be churned for the purpose of others? For the benefit of others? Who will offer this? Bhagavan did. He is always selfless. He wants to help his devotees. Nirnaham Shutti, Neduvarai Nattu, Algadalai Pernan, Kadaindu Amudam Konduhanda Pemman. You will have to watch carefully this shloka, this passaram now. Kadaindu, he churned. Amudam Konduhanda Pemman. He received the Amudam and was very quite happy. Did he receive or did he distribute? Bhagavan distributed Amudam. That's what we have heard. But Alva says, Amudam Konduhanda Pemman. Bhagavan is very smart. He names all the projects as though it is done for the benefit of others. But at the end of the day, it is for his own benefit. He doesn't do for others. It's named so. The projects will be named as though it's for others. But finally, if you probe into it, it will be for him. Why? Here, it was the Amrita which was distributed to others. But Alvar is not mentioning the Amrita which was given to the Devas. He is mentioning about Mahalakshmi, who also appeared when the ocean of milk was churned. Mahalakshmi is the real Amrita. And that Amrita was a gift to Bhagavan. He received that Amrita. So this project is named as Amrita, Mathana and Distribution. But in fact, the true meaning is get Amrita for yourself. Mahalakshmi was the Amrita. Neduvarai nattu, Aadgadale Penan, Kadainda Amudam, Kondu Handa Pemman, Aru Malekyadir Dodumoli, Aravuru Shulai Malaitekumoli, Kadal Marushudan, Arekin Navoli, Appan Charubada, Amudam Kondananne. Slowly the process began. And as it went on and progressed, the Devas were exhausted, they were tired, the Asuras were also tired. Bhagavan said, can you move out? This is not going to be possible by you. I will ensure that everything comes out. And once Bhagavan sat and started to churn, many things started coming out. First came Hala Hala Visha. There was a big treacherous poison, because whenever you churn something, all the dirt comes out. So when they churned the ocean of milk, the dirt started coming out. The dirt collected to be Kalakuta Visha, Hala Hala Visha. They all pleaded to Paramashiva, requested him. Paramashiva gulped it, he drank it, and he was known as Neelakantha. He held it in his neck, so neck turned blue. So he was called as Neelakantha. All the Vesham was taken by Neelakantha. Then there was a big Uchchai Shravas, a horse which was taken by Indra. Airavata was the elephant, Uchchai Shravas was the horse, Lakshmyatmana Parinato Jaladit Babuva. Parijata was a tree which was taken by Indra. Uchchaisravas the horse. Then Dhanvantri appeared with the Amrita Kalasha, Amrita Ghata. Lastly, Mahalakshmi Devi also appeared. Lakshmyatmana Parinato Jaladit Babhuva. Kurattalvan in his Panchastavam expresses his surprise. He says, I have seen human beings taking birth from human beings. A lion born from a lioness. I have seen a cub born from a dog. But I have never seen that from one ocean of milk, so many things would be born. It is only one ocean. Probably it may give birth to another ocean of milk. That's what at the best is possible. Whereas what all come out now? Hala Hala Kuta Visha, poison, Amrita, the elixir, a horse, an elephant, Parijata, the tree, and finally Mahalakshmi, the Paramatma Patni. How can all these take birth from one ocean of milk? Probably this is your Maya, this is your will, this is your wish, and that's why it all happened. Ahindra, Sahasra Katora Dringmukha, Shwasagni Dhumahata Varchaso Suraha, Pauloma Kaleya Balil Valadayaha, Tavagni Dagdhaha, Sarala Iva Bhavan. All the Devas were so engrossed in looking at the Amrita, whether the Amrita appears. Alvas were very dejected. They thought they would have darshan of the real Amritam. Aravamudam is Bhagavan who is churning. Aru Mamudam is the Amritam. Amritam is Aru Mamudam. If you drink Amritam, what best will you be given? You will become eternal. Eternal is Maranamille. You will be beyond Marana, death and birth. But you will still live in this material world. Amritam is not going to get you liberated. It won't reach you to Sri Vaikuntham. It will ensure that you live forever. Do you want that? This is the worst curse you can have in your life. If someone tells you you live, and that was done. Bhishmacharya lamented. He repented that he had got that boon. Bhishma had a boon. Whenever he wants to depart, he could. He decided to depart whenever the kingdom is in Shanti. Absolute Shanti. Will it ever happen? Even in your family, if you take a decision, when I see that my wife, my children, all my grandchildren are well married, well settled, and they have no problem in life, I will depart. You are never going to depart. Kurattalvan also says, I was under the impression that if I suddenly depart, who will take care of my family? Who will protect my family? But finally it turned out to me, they were much better off after I departed. When I was, they were not good. After I left, they were too good and that is when Bhagavan entered. Till such time, I thought I was the protector. I didn't accept Bhagavan as the protector. If I had accepted then, he would have protected my family better. Let us continue. Devancha, Tachwasa Shikahata Prabhan, Dumbrambara, Sragvara Kanchukananan, Nirmathya. Alvar further says, you all know about Andal's Pashuram, Vanga, Kadal Kadainda, Madhavanai, Keshavanai. Tingal Tirumohattu Chezhiyar Shenniranji, Vanga Kadal Kadainda. She mentions about churning the Milky Ocean. Madhavane Keshavane. You see the beautiful application of these two words. Madhavane Keshavane. Madhavan means who holds Mahalakshmi in his chest. Madhavaha. Keshavaha, who has a beautiful hairstyle. Keshavaha. Why these two together? Because when Bhagavan started churning, he had tied his tuft. He had a big tuft. He had tied it well. Yashoda used to tie it for him. So he tied it for himself now. He tied it well. In those days, have you seen Nadaswara Vidwan, Tavil Vidwan having big tufts they used to have? I don't know about today, but when they had in olden days, after the Nadaswara Vidwan is done, he will give 20-30 minutes for Tani Avartanam to the Tavil Vidwan. Tavil Vidwan will start to play. After 10-15 minutes, his tuft would not be bound. He will not tie it again. Till he finishes his Taniyavarthanam in 30 minutes, it will be flowing here and there, and he won't stand still, and he will also keep moving. After all 30 minutes, after he completes, then he will take the jog of again tying his tuft. Similarly, when even a Tavil Vidwan can do that, will not Krishna? So when he started churning, it all unlocked. He didn't lock it again. And he was so beautifully looking as a Keshava. Keshava, one with a flowing hair. Now that hair was visible to all. Unfortunately, no one had darshan of that style. No one looked at Bhagavan. They were only looking at whether Amrita was coming out of this Milky Ocean or not. So Andal says, Vanga Kadal Kadainda Madhavan. He became Madhavan only when he churned. After he churned, he got Mahalakshmi. So he became Madhava. When he churned, he became Keshava. So Madhavane Keshavane Tingal Tirumohattu Chezhiyar Shenniranji. Vallai Nanum Kadavanennu Kallavadiya Vedittu Pukku. Peruvadivil Kadalamudam Kondakalam. Bhagavan took a mighty form. Tolgalayirattai, Tunamalar Kankalayirattai, Talgalayirattai, Pergalayirattai, Tan Tadum Tolum Shamanilada Palavarappi. He took a mighty form and churned. Finally, they got that Amritam out of the milk of ocean. It came, and now is the job of distribution. First is the job of earning. That's done now. Second is the job of distribution. How to distribute? Bhagavan assumed the form of a beautiful female. And that avataram is known as Mohini avataram. Mohini avataram, the place for worship is Tirumohur. Mohur is just before Madurai. And the gateway of Madurai is Tirumohur. Mohana Kshetram, Mohanapuri in Tamil is called as Tirumohur. Taladhamare, Tadamanivayal Tirumohur, Nadumevin Angamandanin Ashurarai Taharkum, Todunangudai Churigudal Kamalak Katkanivai, Kadamehatta Yanni, Mattandilam Kathiye. Nammalvar in his last path, in the 10th centum, in the first decade, Nammalvar sings about Tirumohur. So Bhagavan assumed the form of Mohini. Even before that, Lakshmi Devi appeared. It was then when Indra prostrated to Lakshmi Devi, sought his pardon. Lakshmi Devi, he pardoned Indra and gave back all the lost wealth to Indra. That is when Lakshmi preached a portion, a text called Lakshmi Tantram to Indra. If you read that, if you study that material, it talks about the greatness and glory of Lakshmi in totality. Even Pancharatra Agama, a part of Pancharatra Agama talks about Lakshmi Tantra. So Indra got back his lost wealth. Finally, Bhagavan took Mohini Avatara. Katham Aham Purvam Nattam iti Prabho. When Bhagavan started to distribute, everyone stood in line. And the Devas said, me first, we first. Asuras said, me first, we first. They were all competing with each other to receive the elixir. Bhagavan thought, we can't distribute it to the Asuras. Now let me tell you, if you have to receive from me, stand in a line. Even during a Utsava Shatumurai, Archaka will take the water and Chatari. We will all push and pull to receive Chatirtham and Chatari. He would say, line lanna thare, illana utrunga tharamate. Then we will all immediately fall in line. They fell in line. This was the line of Devas. This was the line of Asuras. Bhagavan first wanted to distribute to Deva, but he took it in his vessel and asked the Asuras, can I first distribute it to these weak Devas? Any day, even at home, You have to distribute any sweet to Kanishta Kumara first, to younger son, and then only to the elder. First the younger has to receive, then the elder has to receive. First give it to old people, then to young people. First give it to the weak and meek, then to the strong. So Bhagavan said, these devas are quite weak. Asuras, I hope you will also agree with me. If I distribute to devas, they said, Bhagavan himself has accepted that we are strong. This is a big boon for us now. Okay, you go ahead. You go ahead and distribute to the devas. He gave to 1, 2, 3, 4 to all devas. They smelt something. Something wrong is going on. He is not giving it to us at all. He must have distributed at least in turns. He does not do. So they stopped. 2 people. You have heard about Rahu and Ketu. This Rahu Ketu, from the side of Asuras, they took a disguise. They disguised as Devas and seated themselves in the line of Devas. Bhagavan was just about to distribute to them. Surya and Chandra, they prompted Bhagavan. These are not Devas. They are Asuras. They are in a disguise. Do not distribute to them. Bhagavan immediately killed them. He struck them with his wand, so that he beheaded them. One was the head alone, and other became the body portion alone. They are Rahu and Ketu. Rahu Ketu to take revenge every year on the day of eclipse. That is when they want to consume Chandra and Surya, just because ava cold mooti vittaadu. Adukkaga idu anni kaamichu kuduttaane engadhukkaga innikku pandralam. That is the day when we have Surya Grahana and Chandra Grahana. Surya Grahana is always on a day. Chandra Grahana is always on Paurnami. Surya Grahana is always on a Amavasya day. So Chandra and Surya Grahana started from this episode only. Itite tam abhiprutya paprachur jata hirchaya. Bhagavan completed the distribution. Then broke a big battle between Devas and Asuras. Bhagavan helped the Devas to win over the Asuras. There completes the story about Amrita Mathana. Then let us go to the next story. Now that all the Asuras were defeated, they tried again and again. Somehow they gained confidence. They got Shukracharya as their Acharya. And that Acharya blessed them with lot of mantra, tantra and powers. So they again defeated the Devas. What to do now? Deva Indra lost his 3 kingdoms, his 3 worlds, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, to an Asura king called Bali. He was known as Mahabali. Mahabali was the grandson of Prahlada. We had seen about Prahlada, the history of Prahlada in the morning. Prahlada's son was Virochana. Virochana's son was Mahabali. Already Sri Narasimha has given a word to Prahlada that I have killed your father. From now on, I will not kill anyone in your dynasty, anyone in your family. So he could not kill Bali Maharaja now, although he defeated Indra and cheated him and snatched the 3 worlds from him. Indra came and pleaded to Bhagavan, you must do something and get me out of this wood. I have to get my kingdom back. His only job is to lose, come and plead. எப்பவுமே இந்திரன் வேலை அதுதான். இப்போ ஒழுங்காக கொடுத்தா வச்சுன்னு கொடுத்துட மாட்டோம் இல்லையா, அதை மட்டும் விட்டுட்டு எல்லாத்தையும் தொலைச்சு திருப்பி வந்து கேட்டுருந்தாருனா கேட்டார். ஸோ நவ் வி கோ டு த பலி ஸ்வர்க ஜயம் பராஜித ஸ்ரீஹி அசுபிஷ்சஹாபிதா ஹீந்திரேண காஜன் பிருகுபிஸ்ஸ ஜீவிதா சர்வாத்மனா தான் அபஜத் பிருகுன் பலிஹி சிஷ்யா மகாத்மார்த்த நிவேதனேன யயாவிந்திரபுரீம் ஸ்வருத்தாம் கம்பயன்னிவ ரோதசி. Indra lost his Indrapuri. Now he was almost a slave. He was driven out of his kingdom. What to do? He pleaded to Sriman Narayana. This is one side of the story. On the other side, Aditi and Kashyapa. Aditi was the husband. Aditi was the wife. And Kashyapa was her husband. They gave birth to all Devas and Asuras. Kashyapa Prajapati's one wife was Diti Devi, and to her were all Asuras born. Kashyapa Prajapati's another wife was Aditi Devi. To her, all Devas were born. So, Devas and Asuras are the sons of the same father. Only the mother are different. Father is the same. And now you see, whatever we quarrel today is nothing. என்ன சுவாமி ஏதோ அண்ணன் தம்பிக்குள்ளே என்ன சண்டைங்கிற அங்கே பாரும், அங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எவ்வளோ பெரிய சண்டையாக இருக்குது. Between Devas and Asuras, it was battle and war forever. So now Aditi Devi pleaded to Kashyapa Prajapati, my sons have all been defeated. My son Indra has lost his wealth. you must do something so that my son regains his lost wealth. Kashyapa Prajapati advised Aditi Devi to practice Payovratam. Payovratam is an austerity practice. If you practice that Payovrata, then you are blessed with a son who will be very, very powerful, who will do whatever you want to. The way it goes is Palgunasya Amale Pakshe Dwadashaham Payovratah Archaye Daravindaksham Bhaktya Paramayanvitaha. In the month of Panguni, in the waxing moon, Shukla Paksha, Dwadashaham, beginning from that day for 12 days till Dwadashi, Payovratam is practiced. Archaye Daravindaksham. You have to consecrate a vigraha of Aravindalochana Bhagavan, decorate him with flowers, and you must have food only once during the day, once during the whole day. Once during the day, now what is it in night in Kekuda? Once during the day. Have food only once during the day. I want to diet. I want to reduce weight. Swami, what should I do? Have only fruits. Is it after food or before food? Adu nadakadu. So, saapdada verum fruits mattum paata seriya irukum. So, Payovratam is in fact a way to reduce weight even. And you have to cook food with milk. Cook food with milk. Have that food. Offer it to Bhagavan and have that food. You must also offer food to many Brahmanas. So, this was the method to practice Payovrata. Shini Valyam Mridalipya Snayatu Krodavidirnaya. As advised by Kashyapa Prajapati, Aditi Devi religiously followed. So he was blessed with a son. And that illustrious son was Vamana Murti. Bhagavan himself took birth. He incarnated as a dwarf, Guru to be a colossal Trivikrama, measured all the universe and regained the lost wealth of Indra. This is what we are going to study now. Chintayat Tyekaya Buddhya Dwadashahama Tandrita Pitavasas Chaturbahu Shankachakra Gadathara. Bhagavan blessed Aditi Devi. You do not worry. As you have pleaded to me, I will take birth as Vamana, your son, and ensure that your other son, Indra, is going to be my Jeshta Bhrata. As Bhagavan is going to be born as the last son, he would be the Kanishta Bhrata. Already Indra is the first son, so he would be the eldest son. I will ensure that my eldest brother is saved. He gets back his kingdom. Chaturbujaha, Shanka Gadabja Chakraha, Pishangavasa Nalinayate Kshanaha, Shivatsavakshaha, Valayanga Dollasat, Kirita Kanchi Guna, Charu Nuparaha. Bhagavan was born.